These hills are alive with the sound of fire. Hello people, I am Silverwolf20 and this is Hilltop Zone, my personal most favorite zone in Sonic 2. I just love the music for it, I love the level design of it, the way you can go underground, above ground, any which way you really want. And these slip and slide things that remind me very much of Sonic 1 in the Green Hill Zone. You know how you had these pads where you could spin into it and then launch you all over the place. I loved it. This reminded me a lot of that, even though I had played Sonic 2 before I played Sonic 1, but still. This is my favorite zone of the game. I'm sorry. There are a lot of other zones that are considered really good, like Chemical Plants is a lot of people's favorite, but Hilltop's mine. Well, actually, that is a good question. What is your favorite zone of Sonic 2, those of you who have played it? As I told you, mine is Hilltop. Some people, strangely enough, think that Metropolis Zone is the best zone in the game, even though it is considered hell on earth by many Sonic players who have played Sonic 2. But I digress. Knuckles once again makes this stage almost broken. I will be able to show you why in a minute. I go in here, I'm collecting my rings, I get knocked back and all around, and here's a nice little trick that Knuckles has. Here's an invincibility for you right there if you need it. Normally you would need that invincibility in order to get through this bit unscathed, but with Knuckles, he is broken. How is he broken? He is able to just hold on to the wall until the lava goes down, and for him, it's proven that you do not need the invincibility in order to get through that bit unscathed. Yes, you can go through it a hell of a lot faster if you get the invincibility, but Knuckles is able to go through it on his own. But that is Act 1 complete of Zone 5. So, that's the end of that. I get myself another continue, which, spoiler alert, I'll never need. And we are on to Hilltop Zone Act 2. There's really not much I can say. The music is fantastic, though we're not even at the two hardest zones of the game yet. That's coming in the next two videos. But Hilltop and the next level are two of my favorites. Although the earlier stages are fun, although the first stage, as I showed you, you can blast through it in under a minute if you really tried. I mean, I beat Zone 2 not Zone 2, Act 2 in 59 seconds, but I actually could have done it a whole hell of a lot faster, but I decided to get hit. So, whatever. And after it cuts out, I get this invincibility, and I decide to go running through the underground path again, and I'm going to break this section because you're supposed to wait for the ground to rise so that you can walk across. But because I am Knuckles and I can wall climb, I done broke the stage, and it's epic when you do that. I gotta stop yawning when I do these commentaries. Jesus Christ. But, yeah, what is your favorite stage in Sonic 2, for those of you who have played it? I know no one's gonna comment telling me what their favorites is, but you gotta try to make it more interactive somehow, so Spike owned. That actually pissed me off. I was going through the level so well, and then boom! Spike to the face. I'm like, aww. But we are nearing the end of Hilltop. We should be coming up to Robotnik soon, and I'm going to obliterate him even though I take damage. You'll see in a second. main pattern for him is he rises up from the lava, shoots a fireball at you, that's about it. He repeats that pattern each time he comes up, and you could actually beat him without getting hit once, but because Knuckles has such a low jump, I couldn't pull it off that way. Act 2 complete, and we are now about to go up to the hills. The Mystic Cave, well, not the hills, the cave. The Mystic Cave Zone, my second most favorite level of this game. Primarily because the game likes to glitch out on me when I'm watching the playback for some odd reason. Yeah, this is being laggy. I don't like it anymore. But I digress. Spin through, get that. Mystic Cave is actually the stage I remember the most, or I remember having the most trouble with my first time playing through, just because you could get lost here very easily, and, you know, actually coming up in Act 2, I fall into a bottomless pit, and if I was anyone but Knuckles, I would have died. But because I am the Echidna, I was able to climb my way back up. But I digress. Speed along. Hit the spring, bounce up. Normally you would have to flip that down, but for some reason it was already up. And if you want to get to the end of the level, you gotta go up here. I actually had a hard time figuring that out as a kid. Like, I kept going the other way, trying to figure out how to get out. No, you just climb up and just go whee! Glide to the end of the stage. Act 1 now complete. Act 2 is pretty long. It made me kind of sad face how long it was, but that's alright. Mystic Cave Zone 2. And the music for this, just like Hilltop, is amazing. And I'm actually gonna stumble on bit here that I could have just glided over, but I was decided to be too cautious and it cost me. But that's alright. I always try to take the upper paths and levels when I can, unless you are required to do the lower path. But there's a checkpoint for those of you who never knew about it, and I kind of failed there. And I actually forgot that I could climb up that way if I jump normally, but it's alright. Knuckles breaks a lot of stages in this game. It's kind of sad. But that's one of the appeals of using Knuckles. You got so many different ways to play the stages that you normally cannot do. And Knuckles also has a tendency of getting Spike-owned a lot more than any of the other characters, because of his jumping and all that, but actually, I'm not sure who has more of a tendency to get Spike-owned, Sonic or Knuckles. Because I know people who play as Sonic, they like to blast through as fast as they can, and it winds up getting them owned more times than not. But it's like, whatever. Now, I think here coming up. Yeah, here! This is a death trap, and if you're anyone but Knuckles, you would instantly die there, because you would have no way of getting up. But because you're Knuckles, you can glide up to the top and almost get hit by a ladybug. I mean, that is an evil placed trap, but it's not too bad if you're Knuckles. Anyone else, you're kind of fucked. And I don't know why I had to grab onto that when I could have easily cleared it just by the spring, but whatever. Now, like I have said many times, I like to take the upper paths if I can, but I also know that taking that upper path is a waste of time, because it does not get you to the boss. And this gets you to the boss. This checkpoint signifies the end of the level. So, this boss is one of... It's not hard, but it's irritating, having to dodge all these spike things that fall down from the ceiling whenever he drills. So, I actually could have probably beaten him before he got to the surface, but I got hit, so that kind of ruined that. 6, and Knuckles spin for the win. Eggman defeated again. That's the end of my 2 most favorite zones of the game. Next time we'll be tackling the oil level. I'm Silver. I will see you guys later, and take care. Bye!